Modern-day Homo sapiens, divided into four major race classifications: Negroid, Mongoloid, Australoid, and Caucasoid. Yet all are Homo sapiens. Yet all come from a commonality. Yet superiority and inferiority. My question is why? Why has one race predominantly thought of itself superior to all other races? Oceanic expansion, 1500s. Europeans travel to discover the New World. Guess what? This is also when ideas of European supremacy emerge. They travel and discover people who look slightly different from them, and suddenly these new things are exotic and uncivilized creatures. These brown-skinned exotic creatures are animals, inferior, subhuman. So how does the story go? I like the fishing here. Let's only go seasonally. I like the trading here too. I really like the land. I want to live here. Oh, and in fact, we must actually claim the land. We must show these people the way of civilization. It's our duty. Settlement. Friendliness. Alliances, breaking of promises. Colonial schooling, disease epidemics. Land claims, problematic Indians. Destruction, assimilation. Past systems solve Indian problem. Isolation, separation, disintegration. Why? Because they were subhuman, inferior, and uncivilized. And this is just one story. Why did they feel they were superior? Let's go into a little bit of more depth. Monogenesis. Life originated from Adam and Eve, and therefore these uncivilized people can be saved. Oh, no. Here's a better perspective. Polygenesis. Life actually originated in different places at different times, and thus the white race is in fact inherently rational and moral. Through these ideas, they justify dehumanizing others. These ideas become deeply solidified as they continue to strip the savages of their humanity, through scientific racism such as craniometry, or works like Gobineau's Human Race Inequality. They develop a system of racism, deconstructing ideas of the human race and developing the myth of Aryanism. Most intelligent and most vital branch. No, it's white supremacy. Their blood cannot be mixed, there must remain purity. These ideas solidify and grow ever more into defined ideologies and universal truths. Then emerges whiteness. Everyone wants to be of the whites, because it means you have social, political, and economic rights. Europeans continue outlining differences and dominating others. They create a binary system of colonized and colonizers. And here's yet another example. They travel to Africa to colonize the inferiors, those with skins so black. Believing they have a civilizing endeavor, they seize and rule and enslave and exploit and simply conquer. It seems they do this to show they think they are better. Why do they believe they are superior? Amidst that time and today's era of polite racism, there existed a transitional stage where the colored were frustrated, colonized by the mind, and in rage. They revolted, yet modernization still equaled westernization. This is what it does to you, colonization. Egyptians too start racializing their dark-skinned neighbors, imitating Europe's legacy of discrimination. And Japan produces the idea of Pan-Asianism. They too imitate suppression. Further upheavals lead to a Russo-Japanese war in which finally the color overpower. Throughout the wars, the color demand respect, yet the whites sustain equality between whites only. So the color turn to each other, hold peace conferences and human rights events, and only then does it start to take some effect. white supremacy came at a cost. The lives of millions upon millions were lost. Of Indians, Chinese, Koreans, and Japanese. Of Africans, Indigenous, First Nations, and Métis. Because they couldn't overlook the different pigmentation in skins. They couldn't look past a language they didn't understand, or the way others did things, like the sharing of a land. My question is why? Didn't the richly colored skinned people have hands and feet and eyes like you? Didn't they pump the same colored blood as you? Didn't they shed the same tears as you? Don't they bear the same emotions as you? Don't they feel the same pains as you? Don't they grow old and die like you? In fact, didn't they originate like you? Didn't they originate with you? Wherever we started, we were one. Negroid, Mongoloid, Australoid, Caucasoid, it was in unison. Only 110,000 years ago, one peoples diverged. And around 40,000 years ago, just one or more two swerved. Divergence only meant in location and appearance. In no way did it mean superiority and inferiority. So my question is why? Each peoples were similar. They had complex civilizations, clothing, music, dance, food, and medications, homes, tools, language, religion, and social organizations. None better than the other. Yet throughout recent history they show hostility to one another. And so you might be thinking, what about today? Well, let's do this. Which dialect is the best? British English. Ugh, that Asian accent is so annoying. But ooh, that Irish accent is adorable. Shall I continue? Why are names anglicized? Because English speakers can't pronounce them. Or why does the world embrace this going by the US dollar thing? Why do we still see feathered headdresses in costume shops? And white sports teams named Washington Redskins and Chicago Blackhawks? Why is it called sociology when it's the study of white communities, but called anthropology when it's the study of other societies? Why are we still building monuments of colonizers with tax money? And did the US just enter another Jim Crow era? It's the 21st century. Why do our national holidays still kiss the ass of colonizers? Why do we still learn through a colonial lens? How come blacks are called African Americans, and indigenous peoples are the natives of their own land? But the European colonizers are just plain Americans. And how the hell does a white woman residing in England own indigenous land? I thought it was stolen. Oh, sorry. Borrowed. It'll be returned, right? You see, this notion still exists, of superiority and inferiority, even though we all come from a commonality. Why is one race still predominantly thought of as superior to other races? Yes, we have branched into 4 major classifications, but we are all Homo sapiens. So my question still remains, why?